All right, we are live. We are live. Microphones are good to go. Microphones are good to go.
Awesome.
Hello, guys. Welcome into the WRAL Q&A. It's a very big weather system coming through the area. If you guys are watching this, make sure you like the video. Make sure you're subscribed so you can get your question answered. We're here with Amy Wilma. Thank you so much for bringing in some of your time. You've been on there all day, and then you're answering some questions from the viewers. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I know, a lot of people have questions. This is a pretty big event that isn't over yet.
Yes.
So happy to answer any questions our viewers have.
Yes. So first off, we're going to start off with Rachel. Rachel, thank you so much for watching it. Guys, again, tune in and make sure you like the video and subscribe. Rachel, I live in Idaho, and I'm a massive fan of y'all. What time will the next storm hit Durham? Shout out to Idaho. We didn't know. Thank you. When will the next band hit Durham, North Carolina?
Kat and Mike and myself, we've all been monitoring the latest model trends, and it looks like the next band is going to approach probably the Durham area between 6 and 7 o'clock this evening. And then it could come down heavy at times until around 8 or 9 o'clock tonight. So probably starting around 6 until around 9 o'clock tonight or so for the Durham area specifically.
And she's asking because her best friend lives in Durham. We totally get it.
Yeah.
You know, check in on your families and friends, especially if they're losing power. We're talking a little water cooler talk about the power outages and how they may start rippling in after this second band. Is that true?
It is true. So what we had overnight and early this morning, temperatures were cold enough to support mostly snow and sleet from Wake County and points to the north. And so that's why we didn't see as many power outages as we thought we might see, which is good. But this next band that comes through, the difference with this next band that moves through this evening is it is definitely cold enough at the surface for things to freeze, but it's likely going to come down as freezing rain.
Yes.
And freezing rain is what clings to trees and power lines, and that's when we start to see power outage issues. So we'll see the ice accumulate even more with this next band. It'll be fairly heavy too, so we're not out of the woods for power outages, especially from around Wake County and points to the north and west. That's where I think we'll see the highest accumulations. We just updated that map. We're going with up to about another quarter-inch of ice or so possible in those areas.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we're waiting for viewers to come on in. We started a little early. Wanted to give you guys a little bit. If you guys missed something, you guys can DVR on the stream, go back in time a little bit. Amy, the floor is yours. What are some maps that you want to introduce today?
Well, this is a wide look at the radar, Jalen, and we do have some spotty areas that we're seeing some precipitation right now. I saw it just a short time ago on our Pittsburgh camera, but overall, many of us are getting a little bit of a break right now. But the reason we keep saying this isn't over yet is because look at what's over western North Carolina. That's where we started to see more and more power outages with the freezing rain, and this is what's headed our way. And it looks like temperatures will stay below freezing as this arrives. So again, we're talking about freezing rain, accumulating ice on trees and power lines later this evening with that next band. This is a live look at Pittsburgh, one of our newer cameras, and this is from Doherty's Pub and Restaurant. And notice how the crews have done a really good job at clearing out the roadway there in Pittsburgh. But also, it's kind of hard to see, but there is a glaze of ice on this tree, and the branches are sagging just a little bit. And so with the next round of freezing rain, that's going to go on top of the ice that we already have on these trees and just add to the problems that we could see as far as sagging power lines and sagging branches maybe onto power lines causing power outages. So that's what we'll be watching this evening.
Yeah, and this is not my first ice storm. I'm from the Midwest, so seeing this is very, very nostalgic, but we know how North Carolina, it's a little bit different than things out in Missouri. Summer wants to know, Summer, you live in Clinton, shout out to Summer. I have a question. Does Sampson County Community College have school or 2 hours delayed tomorrow? All delay and cancellation notifications can be found on WRAL.com. We don't have those things in front of us, but if you go on there, we have a running list. People call in constantly trying to update those things as well. So definitely go to WRAL.com and get those cancellation notices as well. All right, we're waiting for more people. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you guys are just now tuning in, make sure you like the video and subscribe. And here's how the format is going to go. If we don't get to your question, just repeat it with your name, location, and type in your question as well. And those are the only house rules we have. Again, welcome. Amy, what are some more maps that you have for us?
Well, this is we get these numbers from the National Weather Service. They're a big partner of ours. We communicate with them constantly, especially during events like this. This is a look at the snow and sleet combined amounts that we had across parts of the viewing area, under an inch. But because we had more sleet and a little bit of snow overnight and early this morning, that really cut down on the freezing rain and the ice accumulation. So this was good to see, and this is why we're seeing in our live coverage some folks out sledding and actually getting out to enjoy some of this. So we were happy to see the snow and the sleet instead of the freezing rain that really cut down on those power outages throughout the first half of the day. But look at this, Jalen. This is ice reports.
Yep.
Most of them under a quarter of an inch, and a quarter of an inch is that key number that we look for. Once we get to that number, we could start to see power lines come down. And the only official report we've had of a quarter of an inch is Bethesda. That's in Durham County. But again, these numbers are going to climb with that next band this evening.
And we have a question from Progress in Apex, North Carolina. Another question about power outages. I was worried about power outages due to the freezing rain we're having. Absolutely. What are the conditions for issuing an ice storm warning?
So we actually asked the Weather Service about this. Why weren't we under an ice storm warning? An ice storm warning would be issued for our area if all we expected to see was freezing rain. And we knew this wasn't going to be that kind of event. We knew we'd see a mixture of some kind with this event as it arrived. And that's why they didn't issue an ice storm warning. That would be if we saw only freezing rain, which is what they're getting across western parts of North Carolina. My son lives in Asheville. He said there's no snow, there's no sleet. It's all freezing rain, it's all ice, and that's why they're under the ice storm warning. So that kind of gives you some behind the scenes answers about why they issued an ice storm warning west of us. For us, it was a winter weather advisory, a winter storm warning, because we were getting more of that mixture of sleet, of snow, and freezing rain as well. And we're not done. I know many of you are getting a break right now, but that next round will arrive later on this evening.
All right. Well, I will say I do have a couple questions as well. So on that previous chart, we didn't reach a quarter inch. What are our current projections right now looking at for the end of the day?
So Mike and Kat just updated that map, and it looked like Wake County and points to the north and west. That's where we're most likely to see additional ice accumulation, perhaps additional ice accumulation of a quarter of an inch.
Oh, wow.
So a quarter of an inch on top of these numbers, that's going to cause some problems. If you're south and east of the triangle, it looks like some warm air is trying to creep in from the south, and it would probably be mostly just rain for you. That's the hope. So really Wake County and north and west, we're going to add to these numbers, and it could be as high as a quarter of an inch of additional ice.
Wow, wow. So what is our current timeline going from now into tomorrow, which is Monday morning? I'm getting my days mixed up. And if you guys don't know, we're here at the station as well. We're locked in here giving you guys full content. If you're watching the video, make sure you like and subscribe to get your question answered. What is the timeline looking like from now to Monday morning?
Okay, so this is the next round of precipitation that comes in, and most of this is going to be freezing rain. We have the temperatures on here as well as the precipitation. So we're starting to see additional freezing rain arrive around 6 o'clock in the western half of our viewing area with temperatures below freezing. 8 o'clock this evening, we still have a fairly heavy band of freezing rain moving through a good part of the area. Now, as you travel to the south and east, that's when the temperatures are climbing a little bit, and it's mainly going to be rain, but it's still going to be coming down around 8, 9, 10 o'clock tonight. 11 o'clock tonight is when things start to wind down a bit. We'll still see some spotty precipitation overnight tonight, but most of us will have a right around freezing overnight tonight. So the accumulating ice, I think, is probably going to be mainly between 6 o'clock and 10 or 11 o'clock this evening.
Wow. So we got two questions. We got Cameron from Fayetteville. Thank you so much for watching, Cameron. How long should it be to expect for the ice to melt in the area?
Well, that's a really good question. It depends on ground temperatures and soil temperatures. There's a lot of factors that play there. I will say in Fayetteville, you've seen some of the least accumulations, and so I would think that probably things are going to start to really improve as we head into Monday in Fayetteville and in our southeastern counties. I think we'll start to see improvements even in the triangle as we head into Monday afternoon. We're expecting that sun to come out. Our high will be 38, so it's still going to be very cold, but with the sun coming out, I do think that's going to help to melt some things across our viewing area, and it should happen much quicker in the southern part of our viewing area where we've seen a lot less of the precipitation. But keep in mind, where we've seen more precipitation from the triangle and points to the north, whatever starts to melt a little bit as we start to see more sun tomorrow afternoon, it's going to refreeze as we head into Tuesday morning because our lows are down into the teens. Very, very cold air. So I don't think we're totally in the clear until maybe we get to Tuesday. We'll see some improvements on Monday, but we're going to have to deal with that refreeze stuff Tuesday morning and maybe even Wednesday morning in parts of the area.
We just got to wait and see. Make sure you tune in to wherever you get WRAL.com. All right, we got Progress P. We'd love to know where you're watching from. If I've read that before, I apologize. We got 2 questions from them. What about specific inches of ice? Is there a certain threshold of inches of ice that will need to fall to issue an ice storm warning?
I believe I don't know that with 100% certainty.
Understand.
I'm going to guess it's around 1/4 of an inch because that's when we see the power lines start to snap and the trees start to snap. That's just a guess. I don't know off the top of my head at the moment.
Okay, and then there's next question. Why do winter storms have a mix of sectors? The cold sector seems to have a wintry precipitation, the warm one thunderstorms, but are there sectors in between, at least for a winter storm?
So, yeah, you talk about the Midwest and places like St. Louis. I was looking at some video out of there. They had cold air all the way through the column of the atmosphere. Temperatures were below freezing, so it started as snow. It stayed as snow all the way through that cold column of air until it got to the surface. So places like the Midwest, they had that cold column of air from the upper levels of the atmosphere all the way down to the surface, and that's why they had all snow. It's not very often that we get that here in North Carolina. A lot of times we'll get what we call a warm nose move in, and that's some warm air moving in the mid-levels of the atmosphere that kind of messes up the snow for us and makes things change over a little bit to sleet or freezing rain. And that's partially because of where we're located. We're located pretty close to the ocean where we'll get some of those warmer temperatures at times. So we have to have things exactly just right to get an all snowstorm, and it's pretty rare for our area.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you guys again for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe so you guys can get your question answered. We thank you, Chrissy from Smithfield. Thank you so much for watching. We got Raymond. Raymond wants to know, when will we see 60-degree weather? He wants to know when the heat is coming.
That's something that we've been looking at that we're pretty perplexed about. I was just talking to Mike Mays about this, I think yesterday or the day before. I'm losing track of time. But he said he doesn't see any warm temperatures for weeks.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we might be stuck in some cold air for quite some time. The trends are looking fairly cold through February. So, I mean, a lot of times in the winter months, we'll get some of those warm temperatures occasionally.
Yes.
I mean, just a couple weeks ago, I think we were in the 70s. But it doesn't look like we're going to warm up much for the next several weeks.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Karen from Durham, how do we keep non-refrigerated prescriptions if the power goes out and you don't have heat? They usually have to be stored above a certain degree. That's a really good question. I don't know if that's a weather-related question.
I hope that they have a generator or something to help keep it cold. Otherwise, you know, that's a great question. Keep the refrigerator and the freezer door shut. Try to keep it as cold as you can for as long as possible. Luckily, I really don't think we're going to have power outages that extend for days and days and days. We didn't see that initial freezing rain overnight and this morning. And so if we get more power outages, which I think we will, it's probably the kind that crews are going to be able to get out and fix.
Yes.
And it's not going to last for weeks.
No. Q, please go to reporter.com, submit that question. We'd love to follow up with you and put one of our reporters on that, or we could email an expert, get that answer for you as well. All right, up next, hi from Smithfield. Again, Christy, thank you so much for watching. How much ice are we looking at in Smithfield?
In Smithfield, probably an additional 1/10 of an inch of ice with this next band that moves in. I think the higher totals will be just to the north and west of you, but I do think that as this next band arrives, it likely starts as freezing rain for you before changing over to some rain if we can get to 32 or 33 degrees. If you have the WRAL Weather app, you can keep a close eye on those temperatures. If it's 28 or below, it's likely to cause more problems than if it's higher than that 28 number. But I do think you'll probably see some light ice accumulation with this next band in parts of Johnston County and including Smithfield.
Okay, we're getting some more questions again, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. And Raymond wants to know, what is the best way to get around without slipping even if we had to go to work? I can imagine a blue collar worker or a frontline worker, a first responder. Do you have any tips? I know driving super slow, obviously, those roads that have already been treated as well. Any other advice that you have?
Yeah, we know that some people have to get out for their jobs, and I have some friends that are nurses that have been asking me about it as well. Keely was on air just a short time ago, and she said a good idea to do is cut the speed that you would normally travel, cut it in half. Fortunately, there's not a lot of people on the roads, which is good, but if you do happen to see people on the roads, really keep a far distance from those vehicles in front of you. Just in case you start sliding around, you don't want to slide into someone else. So really keep a good distance between you and another vehicle and just take it very, very slow. Something else to think about, we have road crews that are out working very hard right now. We're very thankful for that. They're clearing the roads in many spots, but if you're changing lanes or if maybe you're getting off the highway and onto one of the side streets, just be careful on those ramps as you get off and as you get on, and be careful as you're switching lanes in those areas where we still have some of that ice that the road crews just can't get to right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, like you said, it's trending colder for the next couple of weeks. We're not seeing any 60-degree patches, so please just be careful for the next couple of weeks as well. Okay, we're gonna go rapid fire a little bit. What is causing it to be warmer in Asheville, and will that transfer here?
So we have a warm front. It's lifting to the north, and so that's allowing temperatures to climb from the southern part of the state all the way through our area. So we will see those climbing temperatures. I expect our temperatures in the triangle to be above freezing after 11 o'clock tonight.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, Dylan from Lewisburg, is this storm going to get any worse than it is now?
In Lewisburg, yes, with this next band that arrives this evening. So I don't want anybody to think that we're done with this, especially in the northern half of our viewing area. So Lewisburg, I do think you're going to get some freezing rain with the next round of freezing rain that arrives later this evening and tonight.
Absolutely. Rachel, again, thank you again for watching all the way from Idaho. Your best friend, I could tell you're a great friend. Best friend Sam lives in Madison, North Carolina. Was wondering when the next storm will hit Madison and what should we expect?
Okay, now I'm about to have to Google. I don't have my phone.
Okay.
Madison, North Carolina.
Madison, how about I'm going to go off and then I'll look that up and we'll circle back to that question.
Okay.
How about
Perfect.
that? Okay. Thank you for keeping us. Thank you. Shout out to Chrissy. Thanks for all that you do and keeping us updated. All the Mets, you guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Okay. How's Wendell looking right now? And I'm going to look up that previous question for you.
Yes, thank you. Wendell right now, so you've had a bit of a mixed bag. You had some sleet, freezing rain, and also you had a little bit of snow flurries as well. Wendell will get this next round that moves in later this evening. So I know you're getting a break right now. Plan for that next wave to arrive later this evening, starting around 6 or 7 o'clock. So freezing rain is still a potential for you late this evening and early tonight before things start to wind down.
Okay, all right. We're looking at Madison, North Carolina, a couple miles north of Greensboro. Probably about 30, 45 minutes north of Greensboro. How are they looking?
So they're going to get the freezing rain that we're going to get. So
and
they'll get it a
got
little
some
bit
snow,
before
right?
we get it. They had some snow, but I think really with the column of air the way it is right now, it's a freezing rain event for them as well with this next round.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we've been live for about 18 minutes. How much more time we have?
You tell me, if we have questions, I'll take them.
Okay, sounds good. You guys heard that? And if you guys got questions, make sure you bring them in. Okay, we got a couple more. Is it true for Colonel, I think I remember you from a couple live streams ago. Colonel, is it true that less than an inch of freezing rain in the form of ice accrual can add hundreds of pounds of weight to power lines?
Yes. Less than an inch?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
is it true that less than an inch of freezing rain in the form of ice accrual can add hundreds of pounds of weight to power lines?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why we see them sag at just a quarter of an inch. We start to see them sag and sometimes snap. So yeah, it adds a ton of weight. It depends on exactly how much ice accrual, obviously, but yes.
All right, we got Hargrove wants to know basically the forecast for Henderson.
Henderson. Okay, so Henderson, you're getting a break right now. We will see another round of freezing rain. So you're in that area that we think that we could see 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch of additional ice accumulation with this next band of freezing rain that arrives later this evening. In Henderson, probably around 7 o'clock or so is when it gets started, maybe as early as 6. And then we'll continue until around 9 or 10 o'clock tonight.
Okay, we got Bryson from Morrisville. Should I be concerned about my best friend Brianna's car on Tuesday? We have a lot of good friends watching.
Yeah.
You guys are really concerned, and obviously I think be concerned for the car.
So we're talking about Tuesday morning. We'll have to see how it goes on Monday. The sun's going to come out, it's going to do some melting. I think Tuesday morning, the most likely scenario is those spots that don't get the sun, those shaded spots, we've got a lot of trees, so there's a lot of shady spots, will be problematic on Tuesday morning, because anything that does melt will refreeze, and some spots that get more ice, they're going to have a tough time to get any melting in those shady spots. So I do think we'll still have to be careful. We'll still have to be cautious Tuesday morning.
Okay, Raymond wants to know, and Raymond, where are you watching from again? You've been active before. I'm sorry if I forgot. You have to take out your trash, and you would like to know how many more inches of ice you could be expecting.
You need to
like
know
you
where
said,
Raymond is.
Yeah, Raymond, please drop that again. I'm so sorry if you got lost in the mix, but definitely, I know here in Raleigh, quarter inch is what you said?
Yeah, 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch of additional ice from around Wake County, maybe a little bit south of that, and points to the north with this next band. So, just kind of take it slow out there, kind of test it with 1 foot before you start to walk, and just be very, very careful. I don't want anybody falling down.
And Raymond's following up, do you think the rain will help?
Oh, the rain will absolutely help. If we can get this to transition to all rain, that will help to actually melt what we have out there right now. And the most likely scenario of where that happens is in the southeastern half of our viewing area, where most of this will be rain, whereas in the northwestern half, it's mostly going to be freezing rain.
Okay, I don't know how to say your name, but you actually have a really good point. Best way to explain to my friends who are already downplaying this, that this storm is no joke still.
That's hard, because some people might look out their window right now and say, hey, the road crews have maybe been through their area and things look pretty good. But yeah, they just need to know that we're not done, and this next band looks to be pretty heavy, and temperatures will still be below freezing. So we're going to see more ice accumulate with this next band that arrives this evening, and we'll see additional issues on, something that I'm a little concerned about. I'm glad that the road crews are out there and clearing things out, but we'll get additional ice. So it might look a little bit more clear if they're getting rid of the snow and the sleet. That's that white that we see on the roads. So it might look a little bit more clear. So when that freezing rain comes down on that pavement, it's more of that black ice, which is much more difficult to see.
Much more difficult.
So I want everyone to be careful, and I would just plan to stay home through the evening until we can get to tomorrow, where we get some melting, we get the sun out a little bit, things will start to get a little better.
Absolutely. Also, people got to realize how big our viewing area is. We're talking about all the way up to Virginia, and then really past Fayetteville. We've done some stories. South Carolina is right there. So we're talking about weather all over central North Carolina as well. Oh, more questions. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like this video and subscribe. Also, after this, you guys can go to our other live stream to stay up to date with everything weather. We're also tracking the monks. The monks are still on the move right now as well. They're headed to Roseville, I believe. So let's get back to these questions. Progress again from Apex. Will my mother be able to go to work tomorrow morning? She goes to work from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. And what about my father?
In Apex, so I think it really depends on where you live in Apex. If you're close to main roads and you don't have to deal with a lot of neighborhood roads, you might be okay, but you still need to be very careful. Just to kind of give you an idea of where my mind is, I live in Cary. My neighborhood is completely covered. There's no crew that goes in there that kind of clears it out for us. And so I'm planning, because I've got to be back here tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. I'm staying the night here at the station because I don't want to risk it. So if you have to get out early tomorrow morning, you have to be extremely cautious. We're still going to have ice on the roads in and around the triangle, so just be very careful out there in the morning.
Absolutely. And Raymond also jumped back in the chat. Raymond is asking about his driveway and taking out the trash. He's over there in Southeast Raleigh, and he's concerned about his family. They have to go to work next week in Gardner. So again, we talked about a quarter an inch or eighth to a quarter an inch
A
of
tenth
ice.
to a quarter of an inch of additional ice possible.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt that we have trash pickup tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow is trash pickup for that area.
Do they go out in ice? I don't even know.
Well, we're going to go check WRAL.com.
Let's figure that out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I said, just kind of test the waters with 1 foot before you start walking. I don't want you to risk it. We'll still have accumulating ice this evening with that next band that moves through. Was there another question that he had?
Best time to travel,
this
families in Garner, and they
Yeah.
work during the week.
I think Tuesday afternoon, we're expecting full sunshine. And so that's really going to help. It'll still be cold. We'll be in the upper 30s, but we'll be above freezing with full sunshine. So a lot of melting is going to help us out on Tuesday. I think we'll see some big improvements by Tuesday.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, we got a couple more questions, and we'll go a couple more minutes, guys. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Let's see. Would you say Wednesday will be the best day to start driving to work, Raleigh to Wendell?
Maybe even too late, if you can get past the morning hours, maybe start your day a little bit later on Tuesday. But certainly by Wednesday, I think we're going to be back in business in a lot of spots.
Absolutely, absolutely. While we're waiting for a few more questions, is there any final maps you want to show? Because we're coming up on 25 minutes, and we want to give you a break because you've been with us for a long time.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't have any set up in this show right now, but Kat and Mike are updating things constantly, sending them to our digital team that's been amazing during this event, updating our weather stories, and we have a couple of them going on our website, WRAL.com, so go there for the latest on some of the timing with this next band and things like that. But yeah, the next band arrives starting around 5 or 6 o'clock in western counties, continues until around 1 a.m. or so in our eastern counties.
Yes, and our final plug, we will be back here. We have Grant, who'll be back here doing the Q&A around 7 o'clock as that band starts to move through the area. So if you guys have questions, we will be back here when the action's happening. We won't leave you. Thank you. Everybody's saying thank you to Amy. Pine Bluff, North Carolina, no heat. Please go to a warming shelter if you don't have heat. Find a place that you can go to, a hotel if you can get to a place, but please find a warming shelter as well. Keep you updated. Submitted a photo. Yes, please submit photos to reportit.com. Again, thank you. So I think that's about it. I think we can wrap up the stream. And thank you guys again for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Once I end this, you guys can go to the next live stream with News Plus, which is the logo right behind here, covering everything from the storm, and you guys will see Amy, you guys will see Kat, and everybody on the team that you guys know and love. Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Jalen.
Oh, no problem. I try to make it painless.